Come in.
Hi there, Mr. Latimer. I'm David Lilly
Hey.
with Yamaha Musical Instruments.
It's great to meet you. Please have a seat. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
How was the travel in?
Well, I'll tell you what, this time of year, it's always tough on flights. Up in Denver, I got delayed a little bit because of some snow, but
Gotcha.
I still managed to get here in a pretty decent time.
Not too bad. That's great.
Pretty easy to find a place,
Yeah, a lot of Walmart signs around, I'd guess.
Pretty much the only thing in Bentonville.
Yeah, we kind of took over. That's how we do it. So tell me about why you're here. What kind of
Absolutely. So as I mentioned before, I'm with Yamaha, and we were just looking around at different ways for our company to expand a little bit and be able to provide more of our instruments worldwide. And naturally, the first thought is Walmart. You guys are the leader in low cost anything around the world, and would be a wonderful partner that we would love to work with. So I just wanted to come and give a quick presentation about some of the products we offer, just to get a feel if our two companies could work together effectively.
Okay. Great.
So, do you mind if I ask you a couple questions about your company, just to start us off to get a kind of a feel for if we would be able to work together effectively?
Go for it.
Great. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the relationships you already have with any musical instrument distributors you have?
Yeah, right now our main distributor as far as instruments goes is First Act. I'm sure you've heard of them before. But they're really more focused, at least with us, in the toy section almost. They give us, they have licenses with things like Disney and things like that, so they bring in guitars that have that kind of logo on it and things. So not exactly focused at the more musically gifted people, more at kids and more kind of the younger accessories, make some noise kind of toys rather than instruments.
Great. Have those instruments lived up to your expectations and performed as well as you'd hoped?
It depends on the customer. Some people, that's what they're looking for. So they'll come in and they'll get a Cinderella guitar for their little daughter and she'll love it and that's perfect for them. Other people come in and they're looking for more of actually learning how to play guitar, play chords, play things like that, and this really isn't a product for them. So when people come in, look for that, buy one of those types of guitars, then we have some kickbacks and feedback issues at that point.
So I assume you're receiving fairly regular feedback in regards to those instruments that are already on the shelves?
Yeah. So a lot of times with those people, if they like it, they keep it, and it works well, they'll buy another one for someone else. If they don't like it, a lot of times they end up coming back to the stores pretty quick, and we have seen a lot of returns for those, for people that expect a higher quality than what it is.
All right. Do you think your company would be a little bit interested in having something on the shelf to meet that demand that you guys are kind of hearing about?
Yeah, we get so many people through our store, and I'm sure a lot of people would enjoy seeing a higher level guitar. Obviously, it's not going to be top of the line, super expensive guitar, but maybe that entry level line, I think we could attract customers to that. So.
Absolutely. Well, if you don't mind, I'd like to show you a couple of our products and what we'd like to offer to Walmart to maybe kind of meet that need.
Great.
All right. So what we would like to offer at first is we have three main musical instruments that are pretty common, and there's pretty good demand that we found out from our company worldwide that just people really play a lot and want to learn to play.
Okay.
So those are guitars, pianos, and for a smaller, simpler instrument, the harmonica.
Okay.
So obviously Walmart is focused on a very low-cost price point to all of their customers. And at Yamaha, we want to make sure that we can also keep our costs low so that you guys can pass those savings on to the customers.
Great.
So to begin, I want to show you here our picture of one of our entry-level guitars.
Okay.
This is a very basic guitar that is just a 6-string acoustic guitar, but it has real strings on it. It is made from wooden composite like a normal guitar would.
Okay.
And it has the Yamaha name on it that really draws in people's attention. So this would start at a retail price of $130.
Okay.
We'd be able to offer to you guys at wholesale for $90.
Okay.
Next we have our entry-level piano. These keyboards are a good substitute for a large grand piano, which are very expensive and not very practical for the average household.
Okay.
However, there are quite a lot of people that would love to learn to play piano, and it's one of the more popular instruments for parents to give to their children to teach them to learn early on.
Okay.
So we want to be able to offer something so that all parents would be able to afford something like this. We could give this to you guys, and the retail price with this we would expect to be about $99.
Okay.
We could give it to you guys for $70.
Okay.
And then lastly, we have harmonicas that are just a very small, basic harmonica, key of C, something that if someone just wants to have a little instrument to play around with, that's available to them. Also, just by the nature of the instrument, it is a lot cheaper.
Okay.
So that retails for about $12, and we'd be able to give it to you for $8.
Okay.
So, you guys interested in putting these on your shelves yet?
I think I have a few more questions before we get to that point.
Great.
One of my main questions is, you said that they'd see the Yamaha name and that would be important to them. Obviously, you're known for other products such as jet skis and all kinds of even motor vehicles and things like that. How about in music? I know you have obviously a music presence, but how big is that in your company? What's the scale of your music operation?
All right. Well, the cool fact is musical instruments are the founding block of Yamaha. Started in 1887, we first began manufacturing pianos and organs, and then progressively moved to other instruments. Harmonicas came shortly after. We added guitars in 1942. So we've been making musical instruments for a very long time, and actually today we are the world's largest distributor of musical instruments and largest manufacturer.
Oh, wow. Wasn't aware of that.
Yes, so people recognize that name, and because we began with high-end instruments and we still carry that strong line of high-end instruments today, the brand is very reputable and people recognize it for quality. So having the Yamaha name on there will allow people to recognize just how great that brand is and look at that product and think the high-end product, but still get a quality instrument in our low-end product at their price point.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, wonderful. That definitely, being a leader always helps.
Yes.
We enjoy that occasionally. Obviously, it's a big product. Things like keyboards, guitars take a lot of shelf space. One of our main factors that we look at, the main units we look at is dollars per square inch on a shelf. And with things like a guitar, that's a lot of shelf space. So we need to make sure that the revenue is coming in from these types of products. How would you suggest we put these on our shelves? Would you replace what we have now? Would you add an extra end cap or something, which is already tight in our stores? So how do you normally put these in stores, and what would that look like for Walmart?
Well, I think for Walmart, you guys have a lot of shelves, but they're all full already with tons of products. I think the first thing to think about is going back to your original comment about how the existing musical instruments you have, some are selling, but others are being returned because they're not quite what the customers wanted. So my suggestion would be to perhaps limit some of the shelf space of existing musical instruments and add in some Yamaha products. Naturally, the name is going to be easily recognizable to the people that see them. And for anyone that wants a quality instrument, I think when seeing that, they will instantly associate that product with quality and be much more pleased with that. Additionally, just because of it's a popular product, you're likely to sell quite a bit for whatever shelf space you have. And you could start with just a few of our products on the shelves, see how they do, and perhaps expand if they prove very profitable.
Yeah, that is kind of the normal framework that we follow when introducing new products. Is we have over 4,000 stores just in the U.S., so obviously it'd be a big scale to go to all of that and a big risk for us as well. So we do introduce products that's more in the 50, 60 store range in certain picked out demographics and areas, just to make sure that they're receiving the best customer traffic and view, but also testing before we go large scale to make sure that it is going to be a good product for us. So what are some areas where you think your product would sell the best? If we were picking those key places, where do you think we would place your products to find the best sales?
I think you really want to put them, first off, in metropolitan areas. And pick some that are pretty representative of the overall population in the United States first, and then we can talk about globally later on. But these metropolitan areas are going to be the more, obviously, the higher traffic places. In musical instruments, you have the danger of once you have one, most people carry it on and use that for a very long time unless they upgrade. If well taken care of, they don't really wear out as quickly as some other products.
Okay.
So that being said, if you put it in a rural area at first to try to test it, you might have a couple people buy, but who knows when they're going to buy their next guitar.
Yeah.
So putting it in a metropolitan area where you're going to have constant traffic is probably your best chance of getting a lot of traffic and be able to sell quick. So I would say, especially with Christmas coming right up, Christmas presents are big for guitars, pianos, and harmonicas, etc. Putting them in those areas where you have a lot of high traffic is going to be your best bet at sales.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for your presentation today. I'll definitely have a few other people to talk to. I can sign the final paper, but I'd like to get a more well-rounded view on this, considering we are kind of stepping into uncharted territory, at least as far as musical instruments go for Walmart. So I think sometime next week, if we can meet again, get some of the final numbers worked out. I think we might look for a little more profit margin in there, but we can talk about that later.
Okay.
So yeah, what about Tuesday next week? Would you be able to come back in for a meeting again?
Actually, Tuesday would be perfect. I believe if we could make a sales decision on Tuesday, we might even be able to get your product in stores ready to go for the holiday season.
Okay. Well, let's shoot on then, and hopefully we can get something figured out.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Ladder.
Yes, I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.